In this presentation, we take a look at the cataloging issue of genre and Dewey Decimal Classification. This is by Lila Planowski. Research and evidence found will be applied to the Longfellow Middle School Library. Longfellow Middle School is part of the school district of La Crosse. La Crosse is a medium-sized school district in western Wisconsin. Longfellow Middle School is primarily Caucasian with significant African American, Hispanic, and Asian population. The Asian population is primarily Hmong. Longfellow Middle School has 484 students and 44 staff members. Of those, approximately 9% are on free and reduced lunch and 10% receive special education services. Longfellow Middle School has one library media specialist and operates on primarily a fixed schedule. There are 8,299 books in the collection and approximately 800 digital copies. The library management system used is Follett Destiny. When we take a look at the literature to support either genre classification or Dewey Decimal organization, we can see that many arguments for and against genre and Dewey organization are basically making the same points, that the system supports easier retrieval, better organization, and better supports the curriculum standards. So perhaps we are looking at not an either-or question, but a mix of both genre and Dewey for a best fit solution for the Longfellow Library. Many libraries have fiction organized by genre and nonfiction by Dewey, and even within your fiction organization, even if it is organized by genre, it still follows the Dewey Decimal recommendation for books being organized alphabetically by the last name of the author. There are some evidence out there that genre organization may increase circulation, although whether that is a question of more work being put into the collection to highlight books and to weed out books that aren't needed. And that is something that could be done within a Dewey organized library or a genre organized library, but in that sometimes when that organization process happens, that more extensive weeding and organization is happening along with it. During the 2018 and 2019 school year, Longfellow Library underwent a genreification process for the fiction section. The genres that I came up with were sports, romance relationships, historical fiction, thriller, which includes horror, mystery, and ghost stories, science fiction and fantasy, and realistic fiction. As noted in the literature, organizing a fiction section by genre is a lot of work. Some tips that Goldblatt and others recommended is using sublocations in Destiny so that patrons can use the catalog to identify the book, not changing call numbers, and rather using spine labels to identify. This allowed for not actually changing any of the records for the books, but for allowing patrons to still locate the book using the catalog. What this required, however, is in the process of doing inventory, I was able to, in scanning the books, also identify them, having a subcategory, and then having that come up in the record. Within nonfiction, I recommend an investigative approach for Longfellow, which involves experimenting with some nonfiction special collections and collecting data on circulation statistics. In the Longfellow Library, we are a school that has 1-to-1 use of iPads, and I have found with that students are not using the book resources as much for seeking out factual information, and that circulation for the nonfiction section due to this in part is down. And so I do wonder if possibly some alternative schemes, classification schemes for nonfiction may help to keep the nonfiction collection relevant and circulating. There is also evidence from Sahadath 2013 that alternative classification may have the potential to empower diverse and marginalized users.